Do you think that the article is biased?
Yeah, I thought that.
It's not completely down to the game. They might just be messed up in the head.
Do you think that the game was completely responsible for the boys' deaths?
No, he might have been depressed. It didn't mean that it just was the game.
Yeah, because when you think about how many other people play the game,
And no one else has killed them.
Yeah.
I play the game. I'm perfectly fine. I don't want to kill myself.
There's
No,
You take your anger out on the zombies in the game. You don't kill yourself because of the game.
there must have been there must have been like a different
other
reason.
reasons.
Yeah. There's millions of people that play it daily. You get stressed, but
you don't
not enough
decide.
to want to take your life. Like, you must have been mentally ill, or
Yeah.
there was other implications,
yeah.
or something happened.
They must have had like issues.
The anger the game caused may have triggered it. However, like, you wouldn't have ended your own life over a video game because it's not real at the end of the day.
Maybe
well,
he
exactly.
That was like that.
Maybe he was
triggered it.
it triggered it. He was highly depressed, and then that just
Tipped him over the edge.
tipped him over the edge. Yeah.
How were the deaths similar?
Well, yeah, just because it's the same game.
It's similar as in the video game may have triggered it.
Because they're both violent.
They're both violent video games, and they bring the worst of you out. Like, they can get you very angry, but they would have only triggered it. Like, they
Something would have set it off. Something would have set it off. They're not just going to turn
That's how
around.
they're similar. Like, they both obviously cause the person stress, or the people stress.
But they definitely had other
Yeah.
things going on in their
I don't-
life.
Yeah.
Are the teenagers responsible, or their parents, or neither?
Neither. It's a game. Their parents aren't responsible for what they play, and they didn't know that the game was going to get them stressed.
No one's fault the child died. However, it could have been prevented. Like, if he was underage and his parents had gone out.
Well, that's the thing.
No,
They couldn't have bought that game themselves because they were both under
Exactly.
18. So
if
someone's
they were
gone
under
out.
18, their parents knew that they were paying for a video game for someone that was underage.
Yeah, but
It could-
your parents know that you play.
Yeah,
that
I
as
know,
kind
but-
of
So
game.
do you not think they're
Wouldn't
partly responsible for buying the game for them?
Yeah, I think they are partly responsible in the terms it could have been prevented.
But yeah,
However,
but they didn't.
out of the millions and millions and millions of players that play video games,
They're
which
all
are
mostly
mostly are underage.
Yeah.
When you grow up and you become 18 plus, you're too busy. You've got a much
A lot more free time. No,
Yeah.
less free time.
You have a lot less free time. You've got you're going out a lot more. You've got work. You've got a lot of growing up to do. However, these children haven't got much to do. They come back from school, and the way they socialise is different to how adults socialise.
Do you think Call of Duty is the only game to cause suicides?
No, definitely not. There are hundreds of games.
That's just the most popular one.
Call of Duty is one of the most popular ones.
Do you think it'd be the worst, most likely to cause suicide?
I don't know. I've never played.
Call of Duty.
Possibly, seeing as it's the most popular video game out there, and it's also got the largest community for underage players.
Mm.
I
So
don't think.
I'd say Call of Duty was the most likely to cause it. However, there are plenty of other games which could cause similar things.
Is the age rating appropriate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I can't be sure because I play it, but
Whose side are you on?
no one's.
Not on any. I,
Well, like the kids, because it's not their fault, but the parents should have
I disagree.
picked up on the fact that they were
Yeah.
depressed, because that's obviously
And
why.
maybe
they
Yeah,
I
did
disagree.
about
I disagree with the article in the fact they were blaming the game on his suicide because
Yeah,
it definitely
because
was not.
the
Like,
game didn't intentionally.
it may have triggered it, yes, but there would have been a lot worse things which could have triggered it. Like, he could have been bullied at school. The next day, he could, instead of playing the game, the next day if he went into school, that could have triggered his death. You can't just blame the
You
video
can't make
game.
the game, and also it's not their fault. They didn't bring out a game for children to kill themselves.
I disagree with the article,
It's just
but
a game that they put at 18 as they knew that maybe younger people couldn't handle it. So I don't think it's the game's fault at all.
Who would you blame if you were the parent of the child?
Myself,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
You
Because
you
at
bought
the end of the
game.
day, although it's really horrible to be that person, to be a mother of someone that's ended their life, that must be horrible. But at the end of the day, she willingly knew she was going out to a game shop, buying the video game
Maybe it
for
wasn't
him.
her that bought it though.
like it could have been, it could
And
have
it
not.
Could have been an older
But
brother.
at the end of the day, she still allowed him to play that game, and also he or she, mother or father, could have thought they could have done something to prevent it, or they would have blamed themselves
And
because they didn't think.
They should have sorted it out a lot
Yeah, they should have.
before.
They should have figured it out. Like he was mentally ill or upset
he was or depressed, and they should have like seen what he was doing whilst he was at home. And if he was just spending his time on the Xbox playing games, then clearly.
What do you think the creators of the game think about the situation?
I don't think they
Probably feel
care.
quite guilty.
I don't.
Maybe.
I honestly don't think
no,
they
because
care.
they won't want one of their like players to have died.
Yeah, one of their
I know,
like
they-
fans.
Bad publicity.
Yeah,
in
bad
some
publicity,
ways, in some ways, they have the child's blood on their hands because the game triggered him to suicide. Although,
How do we know it triggered him though? How do we know?
yeah, that's
Anything
the
could have
point.
triggered it off.
Although I don't think
it
they
could have
care.
made him happier. Like, how do they know that a game was the reason
Yeah, it could
why?
have been how he got his like anger and stuff
out.
I don't.
Because you're killing people.
Exactly.
Like, you obviously that's the way he likes to spend his spare time. Or their spare time.
I don't think the developers care really because at the end of the day, there's been I think 10 plus Call of Duties released now. At the end of the day, they're making billions of dollars on the game. If someone dies, that it's not. If someone dies, because of it, they're not going to really. They're not going to allow that to stop them from making a game because at the end of the day, they'll release a new one the next year on, and they'll still make just as much money.
Thanks.
Do you think that the article is biased?
Yeah, because again, like the other one, it was basically saying that it was his fault.
Yeah,
and it was purely the
down
game's
to the
fault.
video game.
Do you think that GTA is in any way responsible for influencing the boy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. If it wasn't for the video game, the child wouldn't have learnt that it's possible to rob a bank and get away with it, like the game deludedly convinces people.
And he wouldn't have thought to go get a gun either.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have thought like how to actually rob a bank, what to do and say, unless it was for the video game, because there's nothing else which would teach a child that.
So do you think that this game has more influence on like this situation than Call of Duty did on the boys hanging
Yeah,
themselves?
because it's a different thing.
With the boy hanging himself, there could have been lots
Many
and lots of
reasons
reasons
behind
why he wanted to end his life. And,
normal children just think, oh, I'm gonna go get a gun and go.
and the
rob
video
a bank.
game would have probably just triggered it
Influence
through
that.
anger,
But-
possibly. However, this Grand Theft Auto game, it's
It kind
It's
of
not-
taught him how to do it, but
yeah.
the Call of Duty game, it didn't teach him how to kill himself. It just taught him how to like
It just
kill
angered him and then
zombies
it
and
triggered.
stuff like that.
How was the scenario similar to the game?
Well, because it's kind of the article was saying that it's the game that's made him do that. So that's how it's similar.
For like the way that he robbed.
As you can go rob banks on GTA, it kind of shows how to do it. So he obviously had the picture in his head and decided. Am I talking about that thing? And decided that he would go try it.
It's quite an aggressive thing to do.
Yeah.
that you wouldn't usually
And
do.
GTA's kind of got lots of violence on,
Mm-hmm.
as does going to get a gun to rob a bank.
Should the game be banned?
No.
Should
I
be
don't
banned.
know.
But
But
that's just one person
Yeah,
out
like-
of
One
millions
person.
millions of people that play it.
I play it, not once has that ever.
Yeah,
come
same.
to
I
me.
play it. I've never thought, oh, do you know what I'm going to go do?
I don't like I was
He
going to
must
say
have
I
had- he
don't
must
think
have had mental
I don't
problems.
think I don't think
But if it's
robbing-
possible,
I don't think robbing a bank is like good. I don't think you should do it. Definitely not. But I think other people should surely be able to educate a child that it's definitely wrong and they should understand the consequences.
so you think it's more the responsibility of the parents rather than the game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Is
Like first
the
of all,
sorry, is the boy or the parents responsible for
Both.
any of this?
The boy. Their parents didn't make him do it or anything like that.
Yeah, he should have known better.
He should know.
I
better.
think it's
Yeah.
both because it's the parent. Like if he's an underage child, 15. The parents, I know millions of parents do, but the parents shouldn't buy him a 18 plus video game if he's too young to understand that it's actually wrong.
Yeah, but at
at
14,
the end of the
15,
day-
you should
Should-
not.
Yeah, I know,
Robbing a
I
bank.
know,
as
So
well.
maybe then that's the parents' fault as well because they haven't taught
They
him.
haven't
Yeah, they
taught him
have taught
properly.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also that his parents didn't think that he would go and
Yeah,
Rob
they
and
you
trusted
wouldn't really
him-
expect that
trusted
to
him
happen.
not to do it, yeah.
Do you think GTA in particular would influence this behaviour or other games as well?
other games as well.
Other games as well.
Yeah.
definitely.
There's a lot.
There's-
What this
There's-
particular like situation?
Yeah,
though?
there's a video game strictly where you play as a bank robber. Payday 2, you literally just pay as a heist.
Is the age rating appropriate?
Yeah.
Wait,
18.
what? Is it 18? No, it's
Yeah.
15.
Whose side is the article on?
I think it's like
It's on their own kind of side.
I think the
really.
article is just to
It's the
articles just to
get.
get attention
No.
really. It's just to basically say, oh, this kid's gone and robbed a bank. It's kind of ironic. I think it's slightly it's slightly humorous, but it's still educating parents. Like
So it's
This
just for the media, or do
yeah,
you think
I
it
think
is?
it's just for the media.
Do you think they are trying to help
No.
by
No.
raising awareness, or they just
No.
want?
No, it
They were
gets the money,
definitely
don't
just
it?
for the irony. They've gone, oh, this kid played a bank robbing game and he's gone and robbed a bank. That's pretty good. Let's put it in the news.
Mm.
I don't think they're trying to educate anyone here. I think they're just doing it for shits
They
and
wrote it
giggles.
without even
This
thinking
was
it.
these both are from the Daily Mail as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whose side are you on?
No one's. I
I've
think
got
it's
it, sorry.
stupid. Like I think the kid should have been. I think the kid should have been educated not to do it. Because even if the game teaches you and makes you want to, or gives you a false hope, at the end of the day, like when I was his age, I definitely knew I could get a long time in prison for that. So it's weird how he didn't understand the punishments.
Not
and
even that
consequences.
it's a long time in prison. It's just
Yeah,
why would you want to go risk a long time of your life?
yeah,
just
it's
to
life changing.
Fail. It's a life changing thing. And he exceeds six. I don't know the word. Sorry.
Who would you blame if you were the parent?
Myself.
Hmm.
Because you
You-
think that you
Your-
would have
your son
taught
would know
your
better.
son to know better
And
to go and
not
rob
buy
bank.
him overage game.
Yeah, but how can you say that when your parents buy you those kind of games?
Yeah, but I was educated. I'm saying if you can't. What I'm saying is, if you can't educate him not to rob a bank, don't buy him
Yeah,
the
but they
thing that
obviously
will
thought
educate
that
him.
they obviously thought that he would know better.
Mm.
There you have.
What do you think the creators of the game think about the situation?
They don't care.
At the end of the day, they're making millions. A kid
And-
robbing a bank, they'll probably find it funny. Sorry, if I made a game and I learned that because of the game, a kid robbed a bank with a BB gun, I'd find it hilarious. I don't think they care.